Hi there, welcome back to JD Answers. Today we have another dashcam menu review. We're also going to go over all the buttons, the modes, and the icons. So let's go ahead and get started by turning on the car. Alright, one of the first things I like to do is go over the buttons. And if we start on this left side, you see that up button. Now the up button, it of course helps you maneuver through the settings, but it also turns off and on the audio. So let me show you how that looks. So if I cover this, you see right now that microphone, which is indicating that it has audio. But right now you see like a little red X in there. It's very small. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to press the up button, and the red dot is gone, which is indicating that the audio is on. So that's what the up button also does, turns off and on your audio. Now the button underneath that one with the three lines is your menu button, but in order to activate that, you have to make sure that the recording is off, and you can see the recording blinking, which is that red dot. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the OK button on the top right over here one time. And then the red dot is gone. You don't see that anymore. So now we could go ahead and press the menu button, and we could get into the menu, which we're going to do that in just a bit. But we also press it one more time to get into the different settings it has. And we're going to press that one more time, and we're back over here to the main menu. To the main screen. Underneath that one is the down button. And again, you can maneuver through the settings with this. But it also, if you short press this, you could go ahead and see the different screen views. And right now you have the back camera, and the front camera is picture in picture. And then you have the side by side, which I don't like because it's very distorted. And then you press it again, and it's the front view only. Press it again, and it's just the back view only if you want that. And of course, the default setting is the front video in the front, and the back camera is side by side. And that's pretty much what the down button does. Next, you have the OK button on the top right. Now with this button, you see the blinking light, which is indicating that it's recording. If you ever want to turn it off, just press the OK, and it turns off. And you need to press the OK button to turn it off to get into the menu. And the OK button is mainly what you use in the menu or settings. Now underneath that one is your different modes. So if we turn off the recording, or we stop the recording really, and now we could get into different modes by the M over here, which is we're just going to short press it, and you get into the picture mode, and you see how the icon has changed. You press it one more time, and you go back to the playback mode, in which we'll get to that in just a minute. All right, let's go back and to the video mode. And there's the camera mode. And I'm going to show you this on the camera mode. If you press the OK button now, you could take a picture with that. So we're going to go hit mode to get back into the recording, which we are right now. And we're going to press OK to continue the dashcam recording. Underneath the mode button, you have the lock button. And this pretty much locks the current video that you're recording, or you're in the playback mode, and you can lock that current video by pressing that button. All right, so underneath that one, of course, is the power button. If you short press it, the screen turns off. But right now, it's actually still recording because you can see the lights in the top left. So we're going to go ahead and turn that back on. And now we're going to long press it, and this turns it off completely. All right, we're going to long press it again to turn this back on. There it goes. All right. So now we could go ahead and start the menu. So again, we're going to turn this off by pressing the top right button, the OK button, to turn off the recording. And we're going to press the menu button. And now we are in the menu. And the first one you see is resolution. So we're going to arrow down using the arrow buttons. And then we're going to hit OK, which is top right. And here it gives you several selections. You got 1080 Full HD, which is 1920 by 1080. Then you have the 1080p, which is 1440 by 1080 and 720. Well, I always like to keep it at the highest setting. So we're going to press OK and move on. Next one, you have loop recording. We're going to press OK. And this one, you got it at 1 minute, 2 minutes, or 3 minutes. And I like to set mine to the longest settings, which is the 3 minutes. So I'm going to arrow down, press OK, and that is your loop recording. What loop recording does is it automatically deletes the oldest video so it could start recording a new video. So this does all the process for you. You don't have to take out your micro SD card and go format it so it could continue recording. It automatically does it for you. But it only works if it has enough space. So you always want to use the maximum micro SD card that you could use. And the reason I say space is because when you get into your G sensor, which we'll go over that in just a minute, the more lock files you have, the less files that you could use for loop recording, because loop recording and G sensor go hand in hand. Now, for more information on loop recording, I'll put a link on the top right for you. But let's go ahead and move on. The next one down is exposure. And we're going to press OK to get into that. Now, if you pretty much drive at night a lot, so you might want to increase the exposure. If you drive during the daytime and you got a lot of sun facing you, then you want to adjust this too as well. If not, like me, I just leave it at 0. And we're going to hit OK and move on. Next one, we have motion detection, and we're going to hit OK. Now, I'm going to turn this on because you can turn it off or on. So what this does is if you're in park mode and if somebody walks by or something's in the area, it will detect it and turn on, and it'll start doing a small recording. Now, these dash cams don't have a large recording. What I mean is like less than 45 seconds. It takes 24 hours of continuous power to charge this dash cam completely. So that's why you sometimes they're not going to have enough battery power to record. That's why you need a hardwire kit in order to take advantage of the motion detection. And if you need to know information on how to install a hardwire kit, I'll put a link on the top right for you. But I'm going to leave it on so that way I can see the icon there. So I'm going to hit arrow down now next, and we're going to get into record audio. Now, record audio is what you hear inside the cabin of your car. Now, this one you could turn it off or on. Let's hit OK to get into it. And yes, off or on. I always like to have the audio on. And remember, you could always turn this off by using one of the arrow buttons. So, but right now, I'm going to leave mine on. And another reason is if I'm in an accident and we're discussing the accident and it's close to my cabin area and my windows are down, well, I could get all the audio recorded with my dash cam. All right, so we're going to move on and hit date stamp, and we're going to hit OK. You could turn this off or on. I like to keep this on because it puts the time and date in the video recording. And that's pretty much what I want, because in case if I'm researching something or specific date or time, I want to see that time on the video recording. So I always leave mine on, and we're going to press OK to move on. And next one down is the G sensor, which we were just talking about. Now you can set this to low, medium, or high. And right now it's set on low. Now, if you live in an area where there's a lot of potholes, speed bumps, or if you live in a high traffic area, you're going to get a lot of hard braking. So you might want to set this to low. And that way you don't have too many locked files where it's not going to give you space again for your loop recording. But if you don't have those situations, you could set this to medium, and you could go back in 30 days, which that is highly recommended, and see how many lock files you have compared to loop recording. If you don't have too many lock files, great, set it there. If you have too many lock files, set it to low. But loop recording and G sensor go hand in hand. Now, for more information on G sensor, I put a link in the top right for you. But right now, I like to set mine to low, and we're going to go ahead and move on. I'm going to press OK, and we're going to arrow down to HDR, and we're going to hit OK. And HDR is high dynamic range. What this does, it balances all the lighting to get you a clear picture on your footage. For example, if you're driving towards the sun and you don't have HDR on, it will look like a flashlight is shining on your video footage. So that's why you utilize the HDR settings by putting it on. So again, I'm going to leave mine on. I'm going to arrow down and press OK. We're going to arrow down for the next one. And we are back at resolution. So now let's get to the next settings. And it says contact us email. And we're going to press OK. And there is a barcode where you could contact the manufacturer. And in case you have any questions, you need to email them, whatever it is, it gives it right there for you. It's not hiding from you. It has actually the QR code there to contact them. So we're going to press OK and move on. And next one, we got park mode. Now, park mode is kind of like motion detection. But in park mode, if your car is parked, and you have it set on, but you got to set your G sensor to high. So in case anybody backs into your car, leans on your car, shakes your car for whatever reason, the dash cam will turn on and it'll take a small recording. But again, to take advantage of this, you got to have a hard wire kit. A hard wire kit will keep your dash cam on to record all those events that are happening. So let me get into there and set it on that, because what I want is an icon so I can show you later. And we're going to hit OK. Now, when you're done with park mode, you got to reset your G sensor to the settings you had it before. Like for me, it'll be low, so I'll have to go back and set it back down to low. So we're going to move on to date and time, and we're going to hit OK. Now, this is where you could set your date on your dash cam. And right now, it's on 2022. Well, it's 2023, so I arrowed up. Now we're going to hit OK to get to the month. And right now we're currently in July. So I'm going to arrow up to July, which is 7. I'm going to hit OK. Now today is the 13th, so I'm going to arrow down to the 13th. And we're going to hit OK. All right, now this is the time. You notice it's on 20. Which is like a military time. So this is like 8 p.m. But it's actually a.m. for me. So I'm going to go ahead and arrow. Actually, you know what? I'm going to arrow down. Just so I can see how it goes up and down. And I'm sorry, it's actually 9. And I'm going to hit OK. And we're going to get into the minutes. And I'm going to arrow up to get into, right now is 27. Well, it's actually just turned 28. No, I'm leaving on 27. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm not worried about the seconds. And right here, we got year, month, date. So if you arrow up from here, it changes to day, month, year. Well, I like it on month, day, year. So I like this settings because some dash cams, you cannot change this. So I like this. So once we're done, we could just hit the menu button. And we get back into the menu. All right, next one is auto power off, and we're going to hit OK. Now you can set this to off, 1 minute or 3 minutes. This is mainly used for if you have a hard wire kit, but you could use it if you want to also. Now if you leave it off, then it will not power off. It will simply turn off when your car turns off. Now, if you have a hard wire kit, most of the time it will stay on your dash cam. You can set this to auto power off in 1 minute or 3 minutes. I'm going to leave this on off. I'm not going to touch this. I don't need this. So we're going to go ahead OK. And we're going to arrow down to screensaver. So what this does is, let's get into it. You can set this to off, where your screen will never turn off, or you can set this to your screen will turn off in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes. So if you set this to 3 minutes, when you start your car, the clock starts. So when you start driving in 3 minutes from you starting your vehicle or powering on your dash cam, in 3 minutes, the screen's going to turn off, not the dash cam. It's like a screensaver like on your computer. It's going to be working, but your screen is off. Now, sometimes these dash cams distract drivers. So that's why they have it to turn off in a certain time. But that's up to you, whatever your preference is. I'm going to leave mine on 3 minutes. And I'm going to hit OK. The next one down is your beep sound, and you can set this to off or on. And I'm going to turn this off, and we're going to hit OK. Now watch this, or hear this. You hear no more beeps. So I'm going to go back in, arrow down, press OK. And there you go, the beep is back on. And that's what we want. And that is your preference. You can turn it off or on. I'm just leaving it on because we're going through the menu. We're going to arrow down to a language. We're going to hit OK, and you can select the language that you need. I'm going to select English. I'm going to go OK. Next one down is your frequency, and we're going to hit OK. Now, if you live in the U.S., put it on 60. If you don't live in the U.S., put it on 50, and we're going to press OK. Next one down is fill light, and we're going to hit OK. And you could turn this to off or on. And this is pretty much your infrared lamps. And we're going to go ahead and press on. And this is, let me show you, turn this around. And it's going to be these items here, which I never really took off this thing here. Which during your installation, make sure you take out that protective covering. So in nighttime, these infrareds are going to light up for you. And you see that how it's turning red? And that way it could give you a little bit more lighting on your driving. And that's what it is. So if you want to keep those on, you put those on. If you drive a lot at night, you might want to leave those on. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to turn those off for right now because most of my driving is during the daytime. All right, next one is to format your micro SD card if needed. And you could, it said all data will be deleted, cancel, or OK. We're going to hit cancel because I don't want to erase anything yet. So we're going to hit OK. Next one is your default settings. We're going to hit OK. So if any reason you want to change this to default settings, you could do it at this settings right here. But we're going to hit cancel and then move down. Next one is your version. There you go. We're going to hit OK. And we're back at the settings. So we're done at least with the menu portion. Now let's get into the different modes, and then we'll go over the icons at the end. So in order to get out of this, we're going to hit menu. And you see we're at the main screen. Now for the modes right now, this is the video mode. And this is everything that we're on. And you could actually probably see all the icons that are on there right now. Now this is all the settings that we have created. Now we're going to get into the different modes. And in order to start that, we got to turn off the recording. And then we could hit the M button for the mode button. And you can see where there's a picture right here, the picture of a camera there. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. You see how that changed. And now you can see the different icons. You got the exposure, you got the white balance, the ISO. You have all that if you need to change that. And what you do is you just pretty much go into the menu like we did before. And this menu has changed. You can see the sequence, the quality, the sharpness. You could go through all of that. I think this is unnecessary because we always have our cell phones with us. Now, in case we don't have our cell phone with us and we get into an accident, then you could use this. But usually the settings are pretty simple. So let's see. Let's get in here real quick. Resolutions at 12 megapixel. Great. Sequence. Again, this is your number sequence for your files. And you could go through all this. Anti-shaking. Just hit OK. And we'll put that on. It's already on. And then when you go to the next one, it's all the same. The next settings are all the same from all the modes. All right, so we're going to hit menu again to get out of it. And you can see that hand icon. That's your anti-shaking right there, the hand icon. So what we're going to do now, we're going to press mode one more time to get into the playback mode. Now, if you notice this icon, which you can't really, icon right here, this is like a video icon. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And you can see the you can hear me, and you can actually see the timer moving. All right, and it turned off. So it's done. So now I'm going to arrow down, and you're going to see another one. We're going to hit OK. And you see that playback mode. We're going to hit OK to stop and go back. And you can see, and I want to arrow up to see the pictures we just took. And there they are. You see right here? The play is actually the pictures. So those are the pictures that we took. So those are the different modes. You got your video mode, your camera mode, and your playback mode. And now let's hit M to get back into the recording mode. We're gonna hit OK. And now we could go ahead and go over all the icons. And let's put that there so we could see them. Now let's go over all the icons. On the corner left, you see the modes. And right now it's on video mode. Now when you change it to picture mode, well, the icon will change. And if you change it to playback mode, well, the icon will also change there as well. Now to the right of that is going to be your recording status. Now when you see that blinking light, it's indicating that it is recording. If you don't see that blinking dot, then it is not recording. Now to the right of that is your audio status. If you have a red dot on the microphone, then it's indicating that it is off. If you don't see that red dot, then it's indicating that it is on. To the right of that is also your G sensor. When you see that G, it's indicating that the G sensor is active. Now to the right of that is your recording time status. So as this turns, it's indicating what the time stamp is at the current time. Now to the right of that is your parking monitoring status. When you see that P, it's indicating that parking mode is activated. Now to the right of that is your resolution. And right now it's set to 1080 Full HD. Now to the bottom right, you'll see two icons. Now the top icon is the status of your micro SD card. If you do not have a micro SD card inserted in your dashcam, then there'll be an X displayed on the micro SD card icon. Underneath is your power supply status. Going back to the top left, underneath the mode icon, you'll see the loop recording, which is a picture of the video camera with a circle and a red number stamp on it indicating what the loop recording time is on. Now underneath that, to the bottom left, is HDR, which is indicating that high dynamic range is active. Now to the bottom left, you will also see the date stamp and the time stamp. So if this video was helpful for you, please give me that thumbs up. Can you appreciate that for you? If you're interested in this product, I'll put links in the description down below. If you have any questions or comments about this dashcam or any products I have, leave them in the comment section down below and I'll get back to you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and select all notifications for all upcoming videos because I got more videos of this dashcam coming out. I have the unboxing, I have the review, and I even have the installation of this dashcam. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe.